Well, hello, free people of the Rocky Mountain region. This is Brandon from Free State, Colorado, and I hope you're doing well. Unfortunately, we have another tragedy here in Colorado that is making international headlines. And gosh, it's just so unfortunate. It's horrific, and it's connected to our political policies coming out of our state legislature and our governor's office. You see, our soft on crime, or what I would even go to so far as to say is pro criminal policies that our government has passed over the years, and their failure to lock people up who have a record of hurting other people, stealing things, is leading to situations like we're going to talk about today. Things need to change here in Colorado. We have to demand better. We have to win at the ballot box in order to ensure that bad guys like this are locked up and not allowed to commit these horrific tragedies. So if you haven't seen this, this is over at gazette.com. Suspect in five-person fatal crash near Franktown faced a dozen previous criminal charges, including assault. Why was this guy back on the streets, you might ask? That's the question right there. The man accused of carjacking a vehicle from a regional transportation RTD station, then crashing into a family of five and causing five deaths, including his own, has been identified. The Denver Gazette confirmed with multiple sources that Walter C. Hewling, 31, is the suspect in the Monday crash on Colorado Highway 83 south of Franktown. Hewling was on parole at the time, according to the Colorado Department of Corrections. He was set to be discharged in January. Killed in the crash were Elvin Corrado, 35 of Denver, who drove the Ford Fusion with four juveniles in it. The Douglas County coroner confirmed the other victims as Toretto Corrado, 8, McKinley Corrado, 11, and Jace Green, 12, all of Colorado Springs. McKinley attended Sabin Middle School in Colorado Springs, according to the school's Facebook page. Quote, "This is an incomprehensible loss for all of us who knew and cared for McKinley. She was bright, joyful presence in our school community, friends with everyone, as her mom shared," the school said. Two victims are recovering, according to family members and hospital officials. Mia Corrado, 13, was in fair condition, according to a children's hospital spokesperson Wednesday. Jordan Green, 14, is also in stable condition at an unnamed hospital, according to his uncle. Wow. The tragedy unfolded on Monday around 3:45 p.m. when the 31-year-old man carjacked a Toyota Matrix hatchback at the 9 Mile Station RTD parking garage. Less than an hour later, the man lost control of the car on Colorado 83 near Russellville Road, south of Franktown, crashing into a Ford Fusion sedan head on, authorities said. The sedan carried one adult driver and five children. Hewling's criminal history in Colorado stretches back to 2013, with 12 cases between 2013 and 2024, according to court records. I mean, there it is right there, folks. This guy was a bad guy, right? I mean, obviously, he's got this criminal record, been arrested, convicted of a lot of things, and here he is with this horrific tragedy. Between 2013 and 2018, Hurling amassed 10 criminal cases in Arapahoe County, including four assault charges, three violations of a protection order, one bribery, one burglary, and one driving under the influence. On June 17th, 2019, Hurling was charged with 2 counts of assault in Denver. He was also charged with criminal mischief, sexual contact without consent, resisting arrest, and 2 charges of assault on a police officer while in custody, court records show. Hurling pleaded not guilty to all of the charges except for the charge of second-degree assault. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison on November 21st, 2019. So he should still be in jail, really, right? And you got to think, I mean, this guy's criminal record, maybe he should be in jail longer than that, right? Or should have been. 5 years later, Hurling picked up a charge for violation of a protection order in Boulder on March 16th, 2024. He eventually pled guilty on May 15th, 2024. So it's just a year ago, right? The guy should have been in jail, violates a protection order. Now he's back on the streets. Quote, "It does no good for police to do great work investigating a case, arresting the bad guys, and for prosecutors to hold them accountable in court if our broken Department of Corrections and parole system are just going to cut career criminals loose on our streets to reoffend." End quote. 23rd Judicial District Attorney George Brockler said in a statement to the Denver Gazette, "Colorado needs changes." 100% needs some changes. And I mean, it's horrible. Horrible story. Here's Denver 7's coverage of it as well, where they go into it. These young kids had their lives taken away from them. Um, we don't know exactly why he crashed at this point, but we do know that he should not have been out on jail. 11-page criminal history dates back to when this guy was a juvenile. The guy's criminal history and the fact that he appears to be have been on parole and this happened, it seems like we are failing the community, Brockler said. Wow. Public records show that Huling was first arrested on assault charges in 2013 at age 18. He had 15 subsequent arrests over the next 6 years on charges ranging from false reporting, bribery, burglary, contempt of court, driving under the influence, parole violations, and multiple other assaults. In 2019, he was sentenced to 6 years in prison related to an assault in downtown Denver after he knocked a man unconscious and assaulted the man's wife. He was also charged with assaulting the police officer who arrested him. Quote, I think there's a lot of justifiable anger and questions that should go on after a case like this, Brockler said. I've got questions for the state of Colorado, especially a guy that was on parole after he had a parole violation, and those questions have to be stern. And that is, what are we doing? Who are you putting out here on the streets? Folks, this is what happens when we have these Democratic legislators. We have our governor who appoints the parole board. We have other people out there who are in our government who are allowing criminals like this to get back on the streets. And this is making international headlines. This is the Daily Mail out of the United Kingdom. Carjacker's lengthy criminal history revealed after he caused horror crash that killed father and three children. I mean, this is sickening. It's horrific, and it is making those international headlines. There's the kids that passed away, at least some of them. Horrible, horrible stuff. The Independent out of the UK as well. Father and three children killed in head-on crash with stolen car driven by career criminal out on parole. I mean, this is not good, folks. Why does Colorado have so many of these horrible, horrible stories? Well, we know the answer, right? It's because of our state government. There is a GoFundMe set up for the family, for the Corrado family to help them out. Glad to see that they've raised $118,000 so far, and absolutely horrible. You got to read this, folks, just because we have to understand, if you don't already, the implications of our soft on crime policies coming out of our state government. On the 24th of November, the Corrado family faced every parent's worst nightmare. In a tragic car accident in Franktown, Colorado, we lost two beautiful children, 8-year-old Toretto Corrado and 11-year-old McKinley Corrado. Their smiles, their laughter, and the love they brought into every room were taken far too soon. Their big sister, Mia Corrado, survived the crash and is currently fighting to heal in the ICU at Children's Hospital, Colorado. She is showing strength beyond her years, and her recovery will be long, difficult, and full of unknowns. Their mother, Marissa Corrado, is now faced with the impossible, grieving two of her children while staying by Mia's side every moment as she fights to recover. Marissa cannot work during this time. Her only focus is caring for Mia, making decisions no parent should ever face, and holding her family together through unbearable heartbreak. We are raising funds to support the Corrado family with transporting Toretto and McKinley back home to Sioux Falls, funeral and memorial services to honor their precious lives, Mia's medical and ICU expenses, Marissa's lost wages while she stays by her daughter's side, travel, lodging, and other essential family needs during this crisis. Our goal reflects the real costs this family is facing, and every donation, no matter how small, brings them one step closer to stability during the darkest moment of their lives. If you cannot give, please share this page. Your support, your prayers, and your love mean more than words can express. Thank you for helping us lift up the Corrado family as they navigate a loss no family should ever endure. Together, we can give them the strength and support they desperately need. With love and gratitude, Grandma Kim. Horrible, horrible stuff, and there's more there. Of course, all the links at Free State Colorado. You can read more about that yourself. Of course, Fox News picked up this story as well about this horrible, horrible situation that happened. And I really appreciate the work that Do Better Denver does. If you don't follow Do Better Denver on Instagram or X, you definitely should. But they really dug in, and we're actually going to look here at the criminal record. Walter Huling, 31, was behind the wheel of a stolen car when he lost control and slammed into an oncoming sedan, killing himself, a father, and three innocent children. Just hours before, Huling stole a car from the RTD 9 Mile station in Aurora by yanking the owner out and speeding off. Wow. At the time, Huling was out on parole despite a criminal record stretching back to at least 2013. Charges include multiple violent offenses, assault, felony menacing with a weapon, burglary, sexual assault, weapon possession by a prior offender, and more. He served multiple prison stints, including 6 years for a brutal 2019 assault. In 2022, Governor Polis promised, quote, "We must do more to ensure that dangerous offenders are not able to re-enter communities and put us all at risk." And yet here we are, another failure. Where's the action, Governor? Demand accountability. So they posted here some of the information. You can actually read the offender information here at Do Better Denver. But zooming in a little bit, you can see some of the horrific situations this guy was involved in. Assault, non-family in 2013, felony menacing there in 2013, contempt of court, and it goes on and on and on. 11 pages of criminal records, sexual assault, violation of a protection order. I mean, just over a year ago, and this guy was back on the street. Horrible, horrible stuff, folks. The Gazette had a great editorial here that I definitely want to read to you because I think it really carries home how it's our state government that is at least partially responsible for the policies that are putting these people back on the streets. So this is November 30th, 2025. Another failure of justice, another Colorado tragedy. Just what does it take to keep a violent career criminal behind bars and the public out of harm's way in the state of Colorado? Apparently, Walter Hooling's dozen-year record of violent and other serious crimes, including parole violations, wasn't enough. Not enough to keep him from being paroled again, nor to keep him from carjacking a woman in an Aurora parking garage last week, driving her vehicle on a rampage and colliding with another car, killing its driver and 3 of the 5 children on board. According to the authorities, Huling was killed too when he was ejected from the car he had stolen and rolled into the path of the vehicle bearing his victims. That brought the death toll to 5. The other 2 children in the car hit by Huling remained in the hospital as of Friday. As the Gazette reported on Wednesday, authorities say the tragedy began Monday afternoon when the 31-year-old carjacked a Toyota Matrix hatchbacks at Aurora's 9 Mile Station RTD parking garage. The vehicle's owner told Aurora police she was getting into her Toyota when a man later identified as Huling approached her and asked her for a ride. When she refused, he pulled her from the driver's seat and drove off. Folks, it's dangerous out there. You got to be armed. You got to be trained. You got to be prepared. If you're in an RTD parking garage, driving, you definitely need to be prepared to defend yourself. Less than an hour later, and 21 miles away in Douglas County, Huling lost control of the car on Colorado 83 near Russellville Road, south of Franktown, crashing into a Ford Fusion sedan head on. Its driver, Alvin Corrado 35, Toretto Corrado 8, McKinley Corrado 11, and JC Green 12, all of Colorado Springs, lost their lives. The other shoe dropped as news emerged later in the week that Huling was out on parole and had a record that rendered him a menace to society. A report by Denver's Channel 7 News revealed that Huling, quote, had a long criminal history, including 2 stints in prison in the Colorado Department of Corrections. That record includes an arrest on assault charges in 2013 at age 18 and 15 arrests over the following 6 years. We already went over a lot of those, so I won't read those again, none of which evidently prevented his release on parole. It's just the latest illustration, tragic, depressing, and alarming, of Colorado's failing criminal justice system. In recent years, the Gazette has reported on a procession of parolees, as well as criminal suspects released on recognizant bonds pending court proceedings who have committed horrible crimes while free on the streets. Blame a legislature bent on justice reform and a pliant governor willing to sign into law bills that essentially decriminalized crime with easier pre-trial release, downgraded criminal penalties, and more lenient parole. Alongside those lapses by lawmakers are plenty of judges and even some prosecutors who have decided to go soft on offenders at the expense of the law-abiding public. Why, pray tell, wasn't Huling still in prison? Wow. Yeah, exactly, folks. We've seen all these laws go easy on criminals and yet make it harder for us as law-abiding individuals. This is related on some level from Rocky Mountain gun owners. When the legislature makes more attempts to restrict our right to self-defense in the upcoming session, the career criminal who broke into this house is who they are defending. This was another story. If you hadn't seen it, you got to watch this video. These kids sleep in their bed. This guy breaks in, goes after them. Colorado family faced an intruder in the middle of the night. The dad fought off the attacker and protected his family until police came. Turns out he was arrested in September for another robbery and released days later. Keep criminals in prison, says Libs of TikTok. That's just it, folks. These criminals keep getting let out. They're carjacking people, wrecking, killing people, breaking into people's homes. This guy was arrested. And now he's already out again. According to this GJ Flash on X, bail was 5K, paid $500, and now roams free. So these people keep getting let out. These legislators keep trying to take away our right to self-defense, and they will not pass. These legislators in our state government, the Democrats at least, will not pass bills that hold these criminals accountable. Here's another story, unfortunately, December 1st, 2025, denvergazette.com, 2 people dead after pursuit of stolen car in Aurora. Guys, this is still happening. This is happening every day here in our state, it seems, and it's totally and utterly unacceptable. We need to get the word out. We need to get people fired up. We need to have change in November of next year. It is possible. We have to get organized now. We have to make some changes. 2 people who were in a stolen car died on Monday when their vehicle slammed into a traffic light pole as they fled from Aurora police officers. Wow. That's not good. It continues to happen here, folks. Now, if you want the data, if you want to really back up everything, you can go to the commonsenseinstitute.org, commonsenseinstituteus.org, and they have a total breakdown here of all of these different reports and studies they've done on Colorado's crime, and they relate it to legislation that has passed out of our state government. And you can see, folks, it's clear. It's clear this is why this is happening. Just right before the Thanksgiving holiday, November 25th, 2025, $1.3 billion gone. How retail theft is draining Colorado's economy. Property and violent crime rates in Colorado's largest cities. And they keep going through this. But they've tried, right? Republicans have tried, at least, to hold these criminals accountable. We have State Rep Randy Bradley, Senator John Carson, who sponsored a bill earlier this year, House Bill 1141, gift card and retail property crime penalties. I mean, we just saw here, this is $1 billion gone out of our economy through retail theft. I mean, it's retail theft. It's gift card theft. How can the Democrats in our state legislature be okay with this? Why aren't they willing to do anything about it? But you can go to the legislative website, the new kind of ugly looking what legislative website we have now. But you can look at the votes. You can see the motion failed on a vote of 3-6. And who were those 6 who voted against it? Well, Democrat Jennifer Bacon, Democrat Cecilia Espinoza, Democrat Lorena Garcia, Democrat Yarazoke, Democrat Michael Carter, Democrat Javier Marbury. They all voted no against a bill to hold criminals accountable who commit retail property crime and gift card crimes. So no wonder, folks, no wonder these criminals are just getting away with everything, are back on the streets, and are able to commit these horrific, horrific crimes that are leaving people dead. It's not good. You got to get motivated. We got to do something about this, and we definitely can. But I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video today. Got a lot of big plans going into 2026, and I'm really excited. I know we're going to turn this state around. We will be a free state. We will win, but it's going to take a lot of work. Don't give up, people. Your voice matters. We're going to win. All right, take care.